Let's do Lamar.
All
That's
right.
a that's an interesting one after what came out today.
Yeah.
So we got the franchise tag placed on him,
Non-exclusive. Yeah.
non-exclusive franchise tag placed on him, and almost right after that was placed on him, it came out that teams are not interested.
Yeah.
Which
Especially the
is odd to
Falcons.
me.
I saw the Falcons weren't interested, and I'm like, you guys have Kyle Pitts, you have
Yeah.
Drake London, you guys are like, you have decent running backs, but you can pick up a good running back. You have a solid offensive line. You're literally just a quarterback away from being like legit contenders, and Lamar Jackson would put you into that. And it's a weak NFC right now. I mean, you look at the NFC, it's really just the Eagles that are kind of butting there. The Vikings are always solid every year, but with Kirk Cousins not being good in prime time, I always kind of count them out. But if the Atlanta Falcons got Lamar Jackson, that's a squad. That's a squad right there. And the fact that they came out and said they were out. And listen, Lamar is only 26. He's off an MVP. But I will say that the Ravens, super smart for doing this. And someone broke this down for me on TikTok. I was actually watching before the show. And I kind of swayed my opinion, kind of changed it. And the reason why I say the Ravens are smart for doing this is you're like, oh, they're dumb because they got, they should pay their top quarterback. Because it's non-exclusive, they get to match whatever.
Yeah, they're going to see what he's worth.
Yeah. And so before they might overpay for him, other teams will say, hey, we'll give you $100,000 and say he wanted $200,000. Be like, all right, Ravens will match that. So they still get Lamar and have to pay him $100,000. If they lose Lamar, if they decide, hey, that's too much for our asking price, they get 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
So logistically, they can underpay Lamar, still have Lamar, or they could get 2 first-round picks. Either way, it's a win-win for them.
Absolutely.
As far as Lamar, this is a loss for Lamar because if the market, and right now the market, for whatever reason, and I don't agree with the market, and you might say that this is kind of in cahoots or whatever, but it hurts Lamar because his pockets are going to get hurt. And I get it. A lot of teams don't. They saw Deshaun Watson where he was getting, $234 million or whatever it was guaranteed and like a fully guaranteed contract. And the NFL teams are afraid of that. They're trying to, who's got the bigger set of kahunas here, the players or the owners, and they're trying to stronghold the players into saying, hey, you want guarantee, we're not giving you that. You either get paid or get lost. And that's kind of what's going on with Lamar Jackson's situation. I hate that for Lamar. He's 26, MVP. He's a great quarterback in this league, top 10. So I don't.
Why does no one want Lamar? Is he hurt worse than we think? No, I think it's just the financial aspect of things. Is no one. Lamar is at this point in his career, he is mentally thinking that he is the player that should be the highest paid quarterback. He thinks he is that talented that, you give me the right pieces, you pay me the right amount of money, I'll get you a championship.
Yeah.
That's where he's at. And I think a lot of teams are afraid to dump that kind of money into a player and then not get the return on investment. Like the Browns are not going to get a return on investment. That's just a fact. They dumped an absurd amount of money into a player who was out for a year. He was a good player. I'm not going to say he's bad or anything, but when he came back, he looked terrible. The amount of money just did not add up. So a lot of these teams that are saying like, we're not going to even try and pursue him, don't have the money or just don't want to spend that amount of money on a quarterback and then get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
I think that's why. But Lamar's a good player. He is a top 10 quarterback. I don't think his injury was that bad. I think he sat out the last game because, I want to be 100% in this upcoming season.
Make sure he gets that money.
Yeah. So whenever they're like, all right, time to talk contract. Well, I'm perfectly healthy. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm good to go. That's what I think it is, financial aspect of things. Hopefully he gets his money because he deserves it. I mean, the Ravens have given him nothing ever since he was drafted.
No receivers.
I mean, it's the only receiver they had was Brown, and then they shipped him off to the Cardinals.
And Bateman showed promise, but other than that,
Bateman had a good year for sure, but he dropped some passes that he shouldn't have. Fumbled too.
He wasn't elite. He wasn't elite.
Yeah,
Lamar had to do everything. Lamar had to do what Justin Fields is doing right now, which is put the team on his back, and he did that. And unfortunately, he did have the injury bug that kind of hurt him. But I used to your point. What did the Ravens do to give him weapons? And Rashad Bateman took offense, and a couple of Ravens players took offense to people saying that, like, "Hey, Lamar," but it's true. Like, Rashad Bateman, you were a solid rookie, but you have yet to put up, these godlike Hall of Fame numbers that you. Yeah. So until you do that, people are going to say, "Hey, he had nobody." He's really the only person I could think of last year that really helped Lamar when he was on the field. They have an old
offensive line is terrible too.
Yeah, so Lamar was really doing it all himself. Now, someone said, are the owners trying to tank the price of the? They could be. They could be trying to tank the price of the quarterback.
Absolutely.
Because if you pay Lamar,
100%.
X, Y, and Z, what are you gonna have to pay a Jalen Hurts who made it to the big game? Who are you gonna have to pay Joe Burrow, the Josh Allens, the Pat Mahomes, who these are quarterbacks that you have higher than Lamar Jackson. What are you gonna have to pay them? So the thing is like they could be trying to tank the market because, hey.
Well, 100%, because if you look statistically, it's gone up every single season. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And these teams can't keep up with that. We got to pay $200 million like within 2 seasons. It's $200 million for 4 years for a quarterback. And then we have nobody else. We put everything into a quarterback because the quarterback is, that position you have to pay now. So tanking that quarterback position financially, I mean, it sucks, but it's smart for GMs and teams because then quarterbacks will be able to be put onto a roster at a reasonable price rather than, having to pay them $240 million for X amount of years and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So I could see that.
I know there's some people who make the narrative that it's about race or whatever the case may be. Or I don't think it's about race. I think it's simply they're trying to tank the market.
It's definitely not about race because Deshaun Watson has one of the largest contracts in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes has one of the largest contracts in the NFL.
Jalen Hurts is getting ready to get paid.
Jalen Hurts is about to get. If you want to see what the new QB market's going to be,
it's going to be Hurts.
Wait until that contract with Hurts comes out. Yeah. Just wait. Guarantee you, the Eagles are about to pay Jalen Hurts. Guaranteed.
That's why the Eagles aren't signing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Javon Hargrave and James Brett because they know they have to pay number one. Lamar, it's just to me again, it's just crazy that no team wants to take the chance on Lamar. At this point, there was like 5 or 6 teams that publicly came out and said, "We're not touching Lamar."
Yeah, like immediately.
Yeah, and it was like the Panthers were one, the Colts were one, the Falcons are one. And these are quarterback needy teams, and I think maybe they're like, "Hey, we can get that kind of guy." Maybe they're all pinpointing Anthony Richardson. Maybe they're saying we can get Lamar Jackson, but bigger, on a rookie deal, and that's a.k.a. Anthony Richardson. Maybe that's what they're banking on, but not all 3 teams can get Anthony Richardson. So someone's got to take the bait and get Lamar. And if I'm a team, a fan of a team, GM of a team, owner of a team, whatever, and I can get Lamar Jackson and make my team instantly better, I'm taking it. Like, imagine Lamar Jackson on the Jets. You got Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, you got Breece Hall, you got C.J. Uzomah. That's scary.
That's the Jets right now. In my opinion, that's the team that everybody should be watching right now.
Yeah,
especially at the quarterback position, because now there's talks of Aaron Rodgers was communicating with the Jets, and the Packers granted him access to the Jets to talk whatever they want to talk. I think that's a stupid move, in my opinion. I think we talked about this last time. Is he's on the verge of dipping out.
Yeah.
So that would be we gotta win a Super Bowl this season.
Now, if the Jets get AR, Aaron Rodgers, they are probably the favorites to win the East, maybe up there with the Bills, instantly better than the Patriots and the Dolphins, and
absolutely.
But
that's the thing is, they have to make it happen that year, and if they don't, AR could be like, all right, I'm out. I'm done. I don't want to play anymore.
It won't hurt them because if he does only play 1 year, next year they could go ahead and draft. They can trade up and get Caleb Williams or Drake May.
True, but if you are the Jets, are you going to be willing to pay what AR wants to be paid? Because the man does not take pay cuts.
No, he doesn't. That's why they lost Devontae Adams.
The man will not take a pay cut. The man will get what he wants or he's gone.
Yeah.
Straight up. The man will get paid the money that he wants or he's gone.
Yeah.
I think Lamar to the Jets is the best possible scenario for Lamar and the Jets.
Yeah.
Undeniable potential. I mean, they would go from being laughing stocks because the Jets have been laughed at for season after season after season after season after season. Now they've got some players.
They got some dogs. They got some dogs.
Now they've got some young talent. They've got a coach that seems like he's pretty solid.
Yeah.
They just need a quarterback, and they need a quarterback that's going to be there for a while. Lamar's that guy.
It's 26.
AR's not that guy.
26.
So
I would take the chance if I'm the Jets on Lamar Jackson.
I would too. Absolutely.
Now, at this point, you have to give up. The Ravens kind of screwed Lamar because they did smart on their part. But now, if any team tries to trade for him, they have to give up 2 first. And you have, as a team, you have to. Listen, 2 first-round picks. That's 2 potential starters right there that you have to. I'm giving up for Lamar. So you have to be all in on Lamar, no matter what team you are, because you're giving up 2 first.
But that's why the Jets make sense because they're one of the youngest teams.
Yeah.
So they're pretty solid as far as talent goes and how old their roster is. So they could go to they could give up 2 first-round picks and still be okay.
Yeah.
And then in 2 or 3 years, however long, be good to go. They don't have to worry about, oh man, we need a running back this upcoming season.
Yeah.
You're good on running back. Oh man, we need a wide. No, you're good on wide receiver.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a solid defense. No, you have a good defense. Oh, we need an offensive line. No, your offensive line is good.
Yeah.
You need a quarterback.
That's it.
So 2 first-round picks.
It's worth it
for Lamar. It's worth it. The Jets would instantly become them.
Yeah.
That would be them. The Jets would be a good team, and they would be somebody that when you see them on the schedule, you're like, ooh,
yeah,
that might be a loss.
And I know the Falcons. I just want to circle back because I know the Falcons said they're out on Lamar, but if I would say the Jets are the best AFC fit for him, but if he gets to choose the Jets or the Falcons, I'm not gonna lie. Even though the Jets have the better overall roster, look at who you're playing to get to the Super Bowl: Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. I would prefer to go to the NFC. And again, to me, the Falcons just make sense for Lamar. The Falcons have talent, and
I think they're all in on Ritter.
Listen, you can. I guess if it's either Ritter or they're going Caleb Williams, again, they're going to be in that quarterback situation. But why waste your young talent you have now? Kyle Pitts, who's right now being wasted because
he's just another offensive lineman.
Yeah, at this point, you're taking a receiving tight end and just making him block the entire game. You got Drake London. You have a solid foundation. If you give him Lamar, who in the NFC? Again, you got Jalen Hurts and maybe Kirk Cousins. Danny Dimes got a big-time contract, but he's not that guy. You got Dak Prescott, doesn't show up in big games. And that's it. That's it. So if Lamar Jackson goes to the NFC, the Falcons, because I would say that's it because Purdy right now is hurt and might not play this upcoming season. And, the 49ers are sitting there with Trey Lance, and I don't really believe in Trey Lance. But now imagine Lamar Jackson goes to the 49ers. Imagine, guys, I just want to throw that out there. That would be nasty.
I can't see that.
I can't see it because they're paying all these players. But Lamar Jackson, CMC, that's a Madden team. Debo, Brent Ayuk, they got George Kittle. That is a Madden team. But again, the
100%.
Falcons, good. Now, the only reason why I say the 49ers is because they're willing to give up the 2 firsts and give him that money for whatever time, and people are willing to take pay cut. The 49ers in a win now situation to where they're a quarterback away from winning the big game. Lamar could help put him over that hump, especially with Purdy being hurt, and Trey Lance, maybe you're not bought in, and it seems like the 49ers GMs aren't bought in on Trey Lance, and Jimmy G's out the door. So if you're in a win-now situation, Lamar would take that 49ers team over the top.
Yep.
And so I'm willing to give up. If I'm trying to win a Super Bowl now and I have a win now, George Kittle's not getting younger. Debo's not getting younger. CMC's not getting any younger. You have a little bit over team, but you have a great team. You pair them with a younger, great quarterback that you can get for maybe 2-3 years. You're going to win a Super Bowl within those things. That'd be legit. But yeah,
agreed.
I just don't understand why everyone's out on Lamar. Because if I'm a GM, I'm all in. I'll take if I'm going to win, especially if I'm going to win now. Now, if I'm in a rebuild mode, I'm not taking the chance. It's stupid to take the chance. You're wasting his career.
It's wasted years.
It's wasted years. But if I'm in a win now situation like the 49ers, potentially the Falcons, you said the Jets, they have that win now formula there. They have the team. These 3 teams, to me, and the more we talk about it, just makes sense because they are in a win now situation. They're just a quarterback away. So
I think the Jets get Lamar. However long that contract is, let's say 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
For the next 4 years, the Jets are contenders.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But the team that they have right now, the next 4 years, contenders every single year.
Yeah.
100%.
I agree.